Well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Florida is no longer playing around, and they released a press statement that is sending shockwaves across the internet, and a lot of people are cheering it, myself included. So, anyway, without further ado, let's watch Florida address the riots, the left wing terrorism. Let's see how they address this issue in comparison to a place like California.
I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, if you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. Oh. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. Oh. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave.
That's right.
In our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on
Based
us, you're going to the hospital and in jail.
If you wanted to distill down what are my positions on this dude is reading them out like a checklist.
If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail. And most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here.
Big, beautiful dogs. Wow.
Big, beautiful dogs. They're big and they're beautiful. They're vicious, but they're beautiful and they're ours. Yeah, that is just such an amazing way to describe dogs. Our big, beautiful dogs. Yeah, our German Shepherds are going to tear you apart. Yeah, I'm liking what this guy is saying.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at. Throw a brick.
What a contrast between people that support their law enforcement and people who uphold the rule of law and a leftist pro-criminal sanctuary city. What an unbelievable difference. On one hand, you've got a guy saying, yeah, you're not allowed to break the law and you're not allowed to go in the middle of the street and detain ordinary people, which, depending on how you want to look at it, in some cases, that can be pretty severe. I know that people want to say, oh, well, they detain you from going to your job. What if your wife is pregnant? What if somebody's having a heart attack? These people are an absolute menace, and blocking the roads has never been an effective way of making people come to your side and listen to your cause. You do more damage to whatever cause that you represent when you throw, orange paint on a painting, or when you glue yourself in the middle of the street or chain yourself together. You do more damage than you can possibly imagine. Now, one thing that will bring people to your side is if you have a cause that's worth fighting for, it's honest and decent, and it fights for the American people, and you do it in a respectful way, a loving way. You do it in a way that is dignified. You do it in a way that shows that, yeah, you're having a protest, but it's more like a party. It's more like a party and everyone's welcome, but that's not the left. The left are terrorists and, LARPing revolutionaries. The fact is that the way that you deal with the left is exactly like this. Saying your shenanigans will no longer be tolerated, and if you continue to do it, you're going to face the consequences of your own actions. And there is nothing that people on the left hate more than anything, there's nothing they hate more than the consequences of their own actions. They think the consequences of their own bad behavior is tyranny and fascism because in their head, they've justified the reason why them doing it, why them misbehaving, why them committing crimes is perfectly justified. But it's not, and it never is, and it never will be.
firebomb, point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains.
Oh my God.
Because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
Kill you graveyard dead.
This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs.
And I bet Florida's recruitment for police officers is probably doing better than LA's recruitment for police officers.
Well, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a police officer where the local government and the state government and even the federal government has your back, and you can actually do your job and not be vilified for it and not be expected to take a brick to the head and do nothing in return? You know, these cops in California, because it is a blue, leftist, extremist, liberal state, if somebody throws a brick at a cop car or throws a brick at a cop, they're supposed to just take it. They're supposed to just take it. You take it and you don't do anything back. If you draw your gun and you shoot that brick thrower in the head, you put him down. In Florida, you're a hero. In California, you're a criminal. They will throw you to the mob. Now, one of these is right and one of these is wrong. I shouldn't have to explain which one is which.
I've got a feeling, right? I don't know. It's skyrocketing. Dude.
Doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists standing in the way of law and order.
Dude, and you know what I bet? I bet they don't have a lot of these problems over in Florida. I got a feeling that maybe this doesn't happen a whole lot over there, right?
And most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that
Florida has its own problems, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be a problem going forward. And I think that leftists are not going to try to poke the bear. I think they're going to stay in their safe space. I think they're going to stay in the states that they know that the Democrats in charge, the people in the DA's office, the people who are, the attorney general of the state, the people who are the governor, the Democrat state senators, the Democrat dog walker, whatever. I think they're going to stay where they know that they will not be punished for committing serious, egregious crimes. And unfortunately, it's the innocents in those areas that suffer as a result of this weak on crime reckless policy. But yeah, Florida is not messing around. And their message is unequivocal. And there's no ambiguity in it. It's not like somebody from the left would go to Florida and do any of this stuff and then be surprised at the outcome. They've made it abundantly clear that if you decide that you're going to engage in the sort of left-wing terrorism and violence that was seen in LA, in Florida, that's not going to be tolerated. Hassan Piker would have been arrested in Florida, but in California, he gets off scot-free, and Twitch doesn't ban him. Let's just take a moment to understand that Twitch is a platform where if you're a VTuber, you can get banned for a day or up to a week, maybe even 2 weeks, for showing some of your thigh in a bathing suit. Or if you're Tectone, you can get banned for calling a fat bitch fat. But if you're a terrorist and somebody that is pro-violence and somebody that is out there streaming on your platform committing crimes, you don't get banned. You don't get reprimanded. You're allowed to exist with impunity. That is absolutely insane. I guarantee you, if Asmongold went to a far-right rally, if he went to another, Charlottesville, and Asmongold was there with the tiki torches, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, we're standing in the middle of the road. We're committing a crime here, but we got a good cause. Do you think that Twitch would hesitate to ban him? Of course not. It would be instantaneous, and he'd probably be permanently banned. The double standard is real, and it's on display for everyone to see. So Florida's anti-riot policies and measures are a message to other states that this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This is the do not cross this line moment. If you want to protest, protest. You want to go out there and be like, look, we believe in this thing. I mean, what they're fighting for, by the way, is reprehensibly stupid and evil. They are defending illegal criminal aliens staying in this country, despite their rap sheet being a mile long. And even if it's not a mile long, the crime of entering into this country illegally is a crime. And it should be punished by getting them out of the country. But these people turn individuals like Kilmore Abrego Garcia into some sort of angel. This guy's a drug trafficker, human trafficker, a guy that was, using his position to sexualize minors. This is a guy that's a domestic abuser. This is a guy that's in a gang. He's in Tren de Aragua. Or is it MS-13? Who cares? He's in a gang. He's a piece of shit. The left tried to turn him into the working man of America because these people are sick. And they're evil. And they're depraved. And they don't know right from wrong. I don't want to get too much into a religious thing, but I do think it's interesting that the more atheistic your ideology, the more divorced you are from God, the more that this sort of degeneracy creeps in. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting my channel. I want to thank you for giving me a platform to speak my mind and to articulate this stuff, because it does mean a lot. The ability for me to come here and have a cathartic release, and that people are willing to listen, it is very special. It is very important to me. And we are doing things. We are indeed doing things. First of which, that I want to highlight before we go, is my Kick channel. That's right. I started a Kick channel probably about 10 days ago. Now, the truth is, that all right. Well, my Kick channel has been growing unbelievably. And I know that some people may scoff at the number, but I have 33 subscribers, or 35 actually, subscribers on Kick. Now that for me is amazing, because understand, I don't know the the CEO of Kick. I'm not friends with him. We're not on a first name basis. But the fact of the matter is that you have me, a small content creator, that is able to generate more in a week than I ever did on Twitch. And it's not just the followers. It's not just the followers. It's the engagement. And so let me pull this up real quick before we go. But you take a look at that. 35 followers. The number of views on these VODs absolutely eclipse what I get on Twitch. And some people may say, well, isn't that a lack of ability of you to grow on these other platforms? Well, there's an argument to be made there. However, as somebody who is isolated to YouTube, I built my channel up on YouTube. I don't have a massive platform anywhere else. The fact that in a week I was able to generate actual engagement, by the way, because people have gone to the Kick chat and engaged in the comment section, and they're not bots. They're actually real people. Have engaged with them. And the fact that there is so much of that in combination with, the views and the increasing subscribers over there, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is to jump over to Kick and follow me at kick.com/tactical Templar. Now, I know that some people have their reservations about Kick, but I've not seen it. Everything since I've been here has been just great. And so, yeah, that would be a way that you can help the channel. Cost you nothing, and it definitely goes to supporting this other platform and goes to supporting my channel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got more videos to do, more things to get to. I think it's important to catch up because I've been gone for like a week. There are many different stories, many different hot button issues, and we're going to get to them, even if I have to cover them one at a time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. The support means a lot, because I am essentially on my own. I'm a one-man band. I don't collab with people. I just sort of do my own thing, and people, obviously like it because you're here. And I do appreciate that more than you can know. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.